Ever ask yourself, what is the point of suffering? What's with the 152 million humans in need of humanitarian aid, of which in the Philippines alone, 7 million are children? And what about all these hurricanes, fires, earthquakes, floods, shootings that have affected too many civilians? Not to mention that anxiety disorders have risen to over 40 million in the US adult population alone. And depression? It itself is beyond 16 million. How can this be? Is suffering so necessary, a mandatory part of the human condition, or can my heart ration it and start shoving it somewhere I can suction it out? Maybe all this affliction I see all around me and feel within myself will disappear if I can just ignore it and start running from myself. Tell me, God, why must we go through what we do? With all the shattered hearts, broken bodies, maimed minds, split souls coming from the pit of pain and suffering, there must be a way out. And I realized bad things, hard things are gonna happen. They'll shake your world like a ticking bomb, and that's just something you can't escape from. It hurts. That's what pain is. But pain and suffering are not the same. See, pain will come. It can't be avoided. But suffering's like the acid we rub on our wounds for no good reason. It'll disable, disarm, and daunt you from returning to action, creating layers of friction inside your soul. See, pain? That's the inevitable. But suffering only grows as we choose to constantly, purposefully, and shamelessly focus on the negative. I've shamed myself doing exactly that. That's how I know, day in and day out, that's something I've chosen to let fester and grow within myself. But pain, as hard as it is to live through hardship yourself or see others living in it, there is positive to pain. We can overcome it, win it. It can help us expand. But that depends on how we tend to it. Please understand me. Pain is not something I want for myself or anyone else. But I believe it has purpose. Its worth is worth more than gold itself if we allow it. You see, without difficulty, how would we know victory? In a world void of insecurity, what would safety be? If we didn't know misery, how could we truly understand what it means to be happy? If you understand this, you understand that to sincerely appreciate, even comprehend the joy life can bring, there simply must be opposition in all things. And that's just one part pain plays. Not only does it teach us much of the good we know, but it can help us on our journey to grow, to flourish, if we learn how to nourish it. Think of a tree. When strong winds of adversity threaten to tear it down, it goes to town, and by that I mean it deepens its roots. It spreads them further than ever, so it can endeavor to survive this test. And that's not all. It literally changes its own cell structure to make it thicker and more flexible against forces that could snap it. These trees have adapted through adversity, making them better and broader. And so can we. Want another example? No problem, I got a ton of them. Let's go microscopic, one of my favorite topics. Consider the muscle fiber and how it grows. If unused, it will do nothing. In fact, it will deteriorate. But when put under enough stress, it will start building. Yes, when under that stress, the fibers will tear. And then little heroes called satellite cells, they then go to town. They take each broken fiber and do more than repair it. They improve it. They outdo its older version, making it bigger, better, and more capable of getting work done. And no, the process isn't necessarily fun, as we all have experienced before. Putting that much stress on our musculoskeletal system can leave us flippin' sore. But for what? It's called improvement. Even when life's challenges seem to beat us down till we're broken, it doesn't mean we're beyond repair. No, broken doesn't mean we're over. In fact, it's quite the opposite. It's simply preparing us for a makeover. It's the cracks in our tattered, sometimes shattered hearts that allow light to shine through. When before your own pride, jealousy, or even enmity prevented light from getting to you, now you're more kind, humble, and understanding too. More capable of feeling love and returning love, as God taught you to do. So when life's trials come, no, you can't erase them. To get through them, you must face them, even embrace them, so you can turn yourself into a better, superior something. You know, it's not called refiner's fire for nothing. So remember, when life feels too brutal, feudal, or slanted, threatening to take you out of comfort, to have you transplanted, in the words of Caine, sometimes it's when you're in a dark place, you think you've been buried, but actually, you've been planted.